morning, good morning.
Good morning.
Let's drink our coffee. We're going to have such a good time today.
We're going to.
This is Cecilia Avila. Cecilia, I'm really glad to see you, darling.
Me too. I'm glad that I'll be here. But you see you for a long, very, very long time, and you look wonderful.
And you do. Cecilia worked for me in San Francisco for 10 years.
10 years.
And she survived.
Yeah, I'm survived.
So that, Madam X will be very pleased to hear that you survived.
I know.
So let's drink our coffee because we have some catching up to do.
You know, when I started to work for you, I went to Safeway. And there was a lady, a black lady in there, that she always have in the line where I had to pay. And she asked me, she said, "Where are you work?" I said, "I work for Paramount and Time." "No." I said, "Yes." She said, "How long you been working for her?" I said, "Well, just about a couple of weeks." Oh, I said, "Well, maybe you like it because every woman that come here, they last one day working for her." And I said, "Well, I think I took weeks." I said, "Follow year, the same thing." She asked me, said, "You still working for her?" I said, "Yes." "Well, that means she really love you, or you have a lot of patience."
Well, how did she know?
I don't know.
She's right. She's right.
She told me.
Yeah,
Yes.
whoever she was.
Yeah, they say you have to have a lot of patience, or she really like you a lot. They say because nobody works that long with her.
Now, you know that's not true.
That's not true.
Everybody who ever worked for me, except a few, you know,
Yeah,
that I fired,
Uh-huh.
stayed with me for years and years and years.
Mm-hmm. Daisy worked for you too for a long
I
time.
know. And Jerry, you didn't know Jerry Crumpler,
Mm-hmm.
but she worked for me for like 20 years.
Wow. So I don't know why she said that to me.
Well, you know,
Mm-hmm.
when you're in the public eye,
Mm-hmm.
people really want to throw stones.
Oh yeah.
And you get adept at catching them
Yeah.
and throwing them back and saying, "I don't care."
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
you just let it go, but that's
Let it
kind
go.
of funny.
Yeah, so-
Cecilia, would you talk about traveling the world with me? Because Cecilia
Yes.
went on a trip with me with kids from, I think, 15 countries. And I asked you to go to take care of Nali
Natalia. Not Natalia.
Arias. Isn't that her name?
Yes. Uh-huh.
She's on Facebook now.
She is?
Yeah.
Oh.
She was from Mexico, and I wanted you to go so you could take care of her
Take
and
care.
speak because she didn't speak English.
Yeah. Take care of her and also like an interpreter because she don't speak the language, and also because I was helping you to where
Yes.
you clothes, your personal things, and also I was in charge in the organization for the teachers.
That's right.
Yeah, I
you
was
were.
in charge what have all the teachers for everybody.
Yes.
I still have all the papers.
Do you really?
I still have every single paper that in that trip.
Tell the people watching where we went on that trip.
Well, we went. First of all, we went to the first stop was in Oslo, Norway.
Yes.
In Oslo, Norway, and then from there we went to
Moscow.
Moscow. We went to the palace.
The Kremlin. Yeah.
We had to change shoes and everything because it was snowing, and we changed. And then from there we went to
India.
India.
I'm helping you out here.
Yeah, in India, and then from India we went to Hong Kong. And the way to go to India to Hong Kong is when I was sick. I started to be sick.
Yes.
And then in Hong Kong, we have the reception by 7 o'clock in the evening in the Holiday Inn, I remember. But I can't stay because I have already about 102 fever, and I went upstairs and stayed in the room by myself, and then you came about 10 o'clock and you said, what's wrong with you? She said, I'm so sick. So you go to the front desk, and I said, you guys have any doctor in here? Because one of my ladies
Peacemakers.
is sick. So the doctor came, and I said, yeah, she said, you have a pneumonia. I have a bronchitis. So they gave me a medicine and said, oh, you can't leave the room. You have to stay in bed. So you and the rest of the home, they left the second day, I don't know where, because I'm staying in a hotel, so I don't know. And then from there, from Hong Kong, we went to Tokyo.
Yes.
We went to Tokyo.
And then we went to China.
And then we went to China, and I walked all the way to the top with the bundle. And I went on the price. I still have that there because I'm the one I put all the bundle upstairs. And the children organization, remember we have the big banner.
The banner, yes.
Okay, and then you say, so whatever can make it first over there, they're gonna win the prize. So I took all the banner all the way to the top, and I win. I have the.
What'd you win? I don't remember.
They give me
a certificate?
the certificate. I have it.
Hey!
I have it.
But talk about meeting with Rajiv Gandhi in India.
Oh,
would you?
okay, in India. In India. I was telling my brother and my family last night about the experience that I have in there. We was sitting around, and Gandhi.
We met with him at night in his garden.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then he was sitting right there, and all the rest are like that. And you was sitting right here, and Natalie was right here, and I'm here.
Yeah.
And he talked to everybody, and then when he came, there was time for me to talk to him. He mentioned my name, and he don't know my name. And he said, and then he looked at me like a surprise, and he said, you know him?
No. He had a list of all of our names.
But he said Cecilia.
And then what happened?
And then when you said to me, said, they know you? I said, no.
I don't remember that. But Cecilia, what impressed me at meeting with Rajiv Gandhi was when Nguyen Vu, a young man from Vietnam who's now a pediatric cardiologist, and he and his partner were married in my garden a couple of years ago. And he's been to see me when I had heart surgery and so forth. But he stood up, as we did everywhere. I had different people do this. And he asked Rajiv Gandhi to sign our declaration whereby he would agree to dismantle one weapon of war in the presence of one of us, of the children, on behalf of the children of the world. And we got in, they did that in Russia, in Moscow. In India, he said, it has to be the big powers. So we got into a big discussion, and he said, nuclear weapons will be succeeded by more lethal things. There will be poison gas. He just predicted the future. Of course, he knew more about it than we did, but it was quite an astonishing meeting. Yes.
Yeah. And then from there we went to, from India we went to Hong Kong.
Yeah.
China,
and we went to the governor of Hong Kong. That's while Hong Kong was still under British rule. So the governor of Hong Kong had us come to the house, the official residence, and everyone was always so gracious to us, weren't they? Really?
Yeah.
But what I remember most of all? I remember, well, so many things, but in Oslo, the snow on the ground and at night, they had horses and policemen, and we each had a flaming torch. And we walked behind these horses and these policemen singing, "We shall live in peace someday."
With candlelight.
Well, it was a torch. And it was just so incredibly moving. And we've had so many moving experiences.
Yeah.
But just something really funny. I was talking to Cecilia about this just a little while ago when she first got here, that when I sold my couture wardrobe and my furs and my jewels, Cecilia put it all together for me, helped me get things together. And we had a truck to take them over, all these things that were beautiful, over to the Fairmont Hotel where we were going to have the auction. And the truck was so dirty that we couldn't put the clothes in it. So then tell the audience what happened.
Then Bruce and David and Daisy and me, we decided we're not going to take the clothes in that dirty truck. And so what are we going to do? We had to be there. And I said, we had to be there. And then Bruce said, okay, we have an idea. Why we don't take the two racks? You and Daisy take one, and me and Bruce.
The clothes
and
racks.
put all the clothes, hang the clothes, and we're gonna take it. And I said, it's a lot of hills. I said, that's okay. So that's the way.
From my house to the Fairmont Hotel. You know, with this rack of clothes.
So that's the way we took the clothes. Daisy you were in the front and I was in the back, so turning the rack and taking the clothes, and Bruce and David another one. And we made it.
You know what I always call that? Meeting the challenge of the moment. And I love it. I tell people when they come to work for me, you have to meet the challenge of the moment, whatever it is. Darling, that's all the time we've got. I love you dearly. I'm so appreciative that you drove all this way from your brother's house, almost 2 hours, to come to visit me.
I want them to see it because it's a very, very long time that I wanted to come to see you. Last year or 2 years ago, I can't come because Daisy, her husband was sick, and then he passed away, and then I have a lot of problems also in my eye, so I have an operation in my eye, and so I let it pass. But this year I said no. This year I'm going to see.
I'm so glad.
And I'm here.
I love you, and I
love
appreciate
you.
it.
You look great. You look the same.
You hear that? You hear that?
You look the same.
Bye, darling. Bye. Right if you get